Just a decade ago, only one electric car on the entire planet, the original Tesla Model S, could even break the 200-mile barrier on a single charge. Today, the latest electric cars on UK roads can officially do over 500 miles before needing the next charger. That's further than most British drivers will ever want to drive in a single day without stopping for a wee. Today, I'm walking you through the 10 longest range electric cars you can buy in Britain right now. We'll cover what they cost, how far they actually go in real-world UK conditions, and whether they're any good to live with day to day. I'll also share some cheaper alternatives at the end for buyers on a tighter budget. Stick around, because the car at number 1 absolutely smashes the magic 500-mile mark. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is BMW's flagship electric SUV, the BMW iX. Yours from over £94,000 for the xDrive 60 version, which delivers the longest range. We're talking an official WLTP figure of 426 miles on a full charge, with real-world British driving sitting closer to 320 miles. The iX is brilliant to drive, thanks to standard air suspension that delivers a smooth and properly controlled ride. There are various interior themes to choose from at the BMW dealer, so you can spec your iX to feel really special inside. But there are a couple of catches. The price is the obvious one. 94 grand is a serious amount of money, and that's before you've even glanced at the options list. The peak charging rate also tops out at just 195 kilowatts, which isn't amazing by today's standards. In practice, you'll be waiting at least 35 minutes for a 10 to 80% top up at the motorway services. Still, a properly capable luxury electric SUV, but at this price point, you're paying a premium for the badge. Pulling into number 9 is the first of 3 Mercedes electric cars on our top 10, the Mercedes EQE 350 Plus. Yours from around £75,000 in AMG Line Edition trim, which delivers the longest official range. We're looking at 428 miles WLTP, just 2 miles further than the BMW iX. Real-world driving sits around 320 miles. The EQE achieves that range thanks to a 96 kilowatt-hour battery combined with excellent aerodynamics. But honestly, the EQE isn't a brilliant buy in most other respects. The driving position won't suit everyone, with a low seat that some drivers find awkward. Interior quality is patchy in places, with cheap-feeling plastics that you don't expect to find in a 75 grand Mercedes. Rear space is also far less generous than the long bodywork suggests from the outside. And the peak charging rate of 170 kilowatts is average by modern standards, meaning you'll be waiting over half an hour for a 10 to 80% top-up. Long range, yes, but the EQE feels half-baked elsewhere. Charging into number 8 is Volkswagen's flagship electric saloon, the Volkswagen ID.7. Yours from around £55,000 for the Pro S Match Plus version. Official WLTP range hits 433 miles, with real-world British driving sitting around 320 miles. There's also an estate version called the ID.7 Tourer, which is more practical and still delivers 420 miles of official range, so basically no penalty for the extra boot space. The ID.7 is properly comfortable and quiet on long motorway runs, with refined seats and a brilliant ride. Peak charging speeds hit a respectable 199 kilowatts, which means a 10 to 80% top-up takes around 28 minutes flat. A couple of niggles though. The price is on the steeper side for what's essentially still a Volkswagen. And some interior controls remain absolutely fiddly to use on the move, especially those touch-sensitive climate slider strips VW refuses to ditch. But for a comfortable, quiet, long-range family saloon or estate, the ID.7 properly deserves a place near the top of the list. Cruising into number 7 is one of the best value cars on the entire list, the Peugeot E3008. The long-range version delivers 434 miles of official WLTP range in entry-level Allure trim, with real-world driving sitting around 320 miles. The kicker is the price. Yours from under £40,000. And Peugeot is currently offering a guaranteed £2,000 saving on top. So you can drive away in a 400-mile plus electric SUV for under 38 grand. Properly mental compared to the BMW iX or Mercedes EQE we covered earlier, which cost more than double. The long-range E3008 has been beset by delays getting to the UK, with right-hand drive cars only recently arriving on forecourts. So stock is limited and you may need to be patient. Inside, the cabin is smart and modern, with Peugeot's signature small steering wheel. The peak charging rate tops out at 160 kilowatts, which isn't brilliant. And ride comfort could be better, with the E3008 feeling slightly firm over rough British roads. But for a long-range family electric SUV, at this price point, the E3008 is properly hard to argue with. Pulling into number 6 is the most unusual car on our entire countdown, the DS number 8. DS is the premium French sub-brand that splintered off from Citroën years ago, positioning themselves as a rival to Audi, BMW and Mercedes. The number 8 is their flagship coupe SUV, with distinctive looks and that swooping rear roofline. The long-range version comes with a massive 97 kilowatt-hour battery, delivering up to 446 miles of official WLTP range in entry-level Palace trim. Real-world driving sits around 330 miles. The price is reasonable at just under £55,000. So far, sounds brilliant, right? Here's where I have to be honest. The number 8 is properly disappointing to drive when you actually get behind the wheel. It feels heavy and sluggish through corners, with steering that doesn't communicate much. The back seats are cramped for taller adults, which is unforgivable on a car this large. And the Euro NCAP safety rating is an underwhelming 4 stars, when basically every German rival scores 5. At a peak charging rate of just 160 kilowatts. And even if the looks have won you over, the number 8 is honestly one to think twice about. Long range, yes, but not properly recommended. Cracking into the top 5 is the longest range Tesla you can currently buy in the UK. The Tesla Model 3 long range rear wheel drive. Yours from just under £45,000. The official WLTP range hits 466 miles, though you need to stick with the standard 19-inch aero wheels to actually achieve that figure. Real-world British driving sits comfortably around 340 miles. The Model 3 has been What Car Magazine's Executive Car of the Year multiple times running, and it's easy to see why. It's sharp and engaging to drive, especially through twisty British B-roads, with steering that has proper weight and feel. The interior is practical, with a usable boot, decent rear seat space, and that signature minimalist Tesla dashboard. For under 45 grand, you're getting absolutely loaded standard equipment. Heated and ventilated front seats, panoramic glass roof, 15-speaker premium audio, and full smartphone connectivity. The knockout punch, though, is access to Tesla's supercharger network. That's still the gold standard for rapid charging across the UK, with reliable, fast, and reasonably priced charging at hundreds of locations nationwide. For long-range motoring on a sensible budget, the Model 3 absolutely deserves its spot. Charging into number 4 is the long-distance king of Audi's electric range, the Audi A6 e-tron. Yours from around £70,000, which is steep but not outrageous for what you get. The official WLTP range hits 471 miles. To put that in perspective, that's almost 90 miles further than the closest rival, the BMW i5, on the same testing cycle. Real-world British driving sits comfortably around 350 miles. So how does the A6 e-tron achieve that range advantage? 2 reasons. A bigger battery pack with more usable capacity than its rivals, and properly excellent aerodynamics with that signature swooping Audi silhouette cheating the wind brilliantly. The longest range version is the Performance Sportback in Sport trim, but even if you step up to a higher trim or pick the more practical Avant Estate, you still walk away with over 400 miles of official range. Charging speeds are properly impressive too, easily beating the BMW i5 at the rapid charger. One slight catch though, the interior is a bit underwhelming for the money. This is a near £70,000 car, and the dashboard plastics could feel more premium. But in basically every other respect, the A6 e-tron is an absolutely brilliant long-distance cruiser. Pulling into the bronze medal spot is the most surprisingly affordable car on our entire top 10, the Mercedes CLA Electric. Mercedes isn't typically the first brand that springs to mind when you think value for money, but the CLA Electric flips that reputation on its head. The longest range, 250 plus sport version, costs just over £43,000. Hardly pocket change, but cheaper than the Tesla Model 3 long range we covered at number 5, even though the Tesla can't travel as far on a charge. The CLA's official WLTP range hits 483 miles, making it the 3rd longest range EV on sale anywhere in the UK. Real-world driving sits around 350 miles on motorway cruising. The CLA's clever party piece is the charging speeds. The CLA can charge at speeds up to 320 kilowatts, which means a 10 to 80% top-up takes just over 20 minutes flat. Properly mental for a saloon at this price. It's also comfortable on long British motorway runs, with refined ride quality. It's not the most practical car, with limited rear headroom from that swooping coupe saloon roofline. But for a long-range premium German saloon for under 45 grand, the CLA Electric is properly hard to fault. Right, drum roll please, because we're at the silver medal spot. Sliding in at number 2 is the absolute newest car on our top 10, the brand new 2nd generation BMW iX3. Yours from just under £60,000. The official WLTP range hits an absolutely staggering 500 miles on a full charge. Yes, 500 miles in a BMW SUV. Fair warning, you'll need to spec the more aerodynamic optional wheels at an extra 550 quid to achieve that figure. Real-world driving is properly impressive too. In a recent 600-mile road trip test against the Tesla Model Y, the new iX3 managed almost 400 miles before plugging in, mostly cruising at 70 miles per hour. That's road trip friendly territory. The knockout punch is the charging speeds. The new iX3 supports ultra-fast 400 kilowatt rapid charging, meaning a 10 to 80% top-up takes just 21 minutes. That's the fastest of any electric SUV currently on sale in the UK. The new iX3 is also practical, with brilliant interior space, and it's more fun to drive than any of its direct premium rivals. No surprise, it's just been crowned the reigning What Car of the Year for 2026. Silver medal, absolutely earned. And here we are, the big one, number 1. The undisputed long-range king of the entire UK electric car market, the Mercedes EQS. The longest range version, the 450 Plus premium spec, can officially do 542 miles on a single charge. That is properly mental. Land's End to Edinburgh without stopping, with miles to spare. The EQS has been one of the longest range EVs on sale anywhere in the world since launch back in 2021. But the recently facelifted model takes things to another level. So how does Mercedes achieve that staggering figure? 2 factors. First, a massive 122 kilowatt-hour battery, properly bigger than any rival. Second, absolutely incredible aerodynamics, with a drag coefficient of just 0.2, making it one of the most slippery production cars ever made anywhere in the world. Real-world driving sits around 420 miles. The facelifted EQS also gets clever new tech, including an optional yoke steering wheel paired with steer-by-wire, giving a super tight turning circle without taking your hands off the wheel. Now there's one obvious catch: the price. Prices start at just under £92,000, with the longest range 450 Plus premium costing £104,000. So yeah, properly expensive. But if you want the longest range without compromise on UK roads, the Mercedes EQS is the absolute king. Right, before I let you go, every car on our top 10 carries a properly hefty price tag. So if your budget is tighter but you still want serious range, here are 3 cracking alternatives. First up, the new Nissan Leaf. 386 miles of official range, from just £32,000 after the UK electric car grant. Second, the Renault Scenic. A bit more practicality than the Leaf. 382 miles of range, from £33,000. And if even that's too much, the brand new Kia EV2 long range qualifies for the full £3,750 grant, giving you 280 miles of range for under 25 grand. So there you have it, the 10 longest range electric cars on UK roads right now, plus 3 affordable alternatives for tighter budgets. Which one would you put on your driveway? Drop your pick in the comments. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. This has been Nick from Nick's Car Review. Drive safe out there,